I mean, it could happen. I mean, why not? If Crawford wanna challenge himself to be great, let him try to be great. So you know what I'm saying. I'm with it. So I'll be going for Bud. If he fight Canelo.
Sit right here and roll. Maybe he's a little overrated.
Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds.
Canelo's really good. Really good. But I think Crawford is special. I know he hasn't fought the resume everyone wants.
Errol Spence Jr. has finally broken his silence after linking up with Terence Crawford in camp ahead of Crawford's blockbuster showdown with Canelo Alvarez. Speaking out for the first time, Spence praised Crawford's focus, work ethic, and winning mentality as he gets ready for the biggest fight of his career. This unexpected partnership between two former rivals has grabbed the boxing world's attention, showing they not only...
Listen, however they rate me, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we got to fight, and I'm going to win the fight. It's simple as that.
Can I ask you about if there's any rematch clause with this fight with Canelo?
No, it's not.
Is that something you push for?
No, I didn't.
And is any weight restrictions to the fight at all?
No, it's not.
A lot of fighters would like to put on a weight restriction to this type of fight. Why didn't you want to do that?
Because I want him at his best. I don't want no excuses. I don't want no, reasons why, he didn't feel good or anything. I want him at his best.
Spence Jr. has openly given Crawford credit as he prepares to take on Canelo Alvarez, calling him a strong dude. Coming from Spence, who struggled with Crawford's timing and took heavy shots in their 2023 bout, that's a big compliment. He reminded fans that Canelo once moved up in weight, just like Crawford is now, and said he believes Bud has a genuine shot at pulling it off.
I mean, it could happen. I mean, why not? If Crawford wanna challenge himself to be great, let him try to be great. So you know what I'm saying. I'm with it. So I'll be going for Bud. If he fight Canelo, I'll be going for him. I mean, I don't know if he gonna win or lose, but I definitely be going for Crawford. I think if anybody can pull it off, he can pull it off.
Yeah.
He's chasing greatness, so why not? Canelo came up to 175 and all that, and fought Kovalev and fought the other guy too. So I mean, if he can do it, and he started at 147. So I mean, if he doing it, why can't Crawford do it?
So recently, Errol Spence just backed Terence Crawford to beat Canelo Alvarez in the upcoming fight, September the 13th. And now you got a whole lot of people making a whole lot of noise about it, which is crazy because if y'all remember, Errol Spence, he been calling out Canelo Alvarez for years. Remember when Canelo Alvarez was still at 160, Errol was saying that he'll move up to 160 just to fight Canelo Alvarez. I guess because he's seen something in Canelo that he can exploit. And being as though that Terence beat the shot at Errol Spence last year, I guess he felt like he can do the same thing to him too.
Crawford is taking a huge risk for the sake of legacy, jumping up 2 weight classes to face Canelo Alvarez for the undisputed super middleweight crown on September 13th, 2025. The fight is already being promoted as one of the sport's biggest nights. But when asked about running it back with Spence Jr., Crawford didn't hesitate. He's not...
Terence Bud Crawford is aiming for a Canelo Alvarez clash at 168 to become undisputed for a third time in a third weight division, something that has never been done. They're talking about Canelo Alvarez's 2 fights this year in May and September is going to be potentially versus Jamal Charlo and Terence Crawford in September on the back end. For Canelo, of course, we want to see him fight David Benavidez, David Morrell, dig what I'm saying? But so I know, this might not be what y'all want to see from Canelo, but for Terence Crawford, I like the idea. It looks like Errol Spence is gonna do other things as opposed to fighting Terence Crawford in a rematch. So Terence Crawford in the gym right now, getting ready, staying prepared. And I would like to see him challenge himself versus Canelo. He done did everything else in the sport. And I mean...
Bernard Hopkins highlighted the kind of damage Crawford inflicted on Spence in their last fight, saying it was like 3 fights packed into one and took years off Spence's career. As a veteran, Hopkins stressed that those kinds of beatings don't always show immediate effects, but they can quietly rob a fighter of their prime.
Crawford. Believe Crawford, even though, fought twice, throughout the year, Crawford, was...
But look who he beat.
Undisputed.
Look who he beat. Look who he beat. What he did to Spence and how he did it. That's 3 fights to me. And it took 4 fights out of Spence, right? Yeah, I'm a fighter, so I can tell you when you get punished like that.
Yeah, I was there ringside watching the fight.
It takes a few
years
years out of you. Don't see the years right now, but it sort of takes something out of that person going forward. They still can beat some fights, but it really put a bruise on you. You didn't see Spence fight yet, did you?
No.
Did you hear him name opponent for him to potentially fight? It's been quiet. You see the weight he gained?
Shakur Stevenson hasn't held back his views on this mega fight. He's convinced Crawford can not only beat Canelo, but even stop him. Stevenson has long said Bud's fight IQ, southpaw angles, and punching power make him the superior fighter. He flat out declared Bud's gonna cook Canelo, hinting that a knockout is realistic. In Stevenson's eyes, Crawford's ability to adjust mid-fight could turn a long shot into a stunning upset.
I think Bud gonna cook Canelo. I think he's gonna cook him. I think, Canelo a hell of a fighter, but I think Bud just got all the tools to beat him.
You don't think the weight difference is gonna be too big of an advantage?
I think y'all make that something, in certain fights,
Boxing makes it something, not us.
like if this was like a Benavidez, he's actually a lot bigger than Bud, so that would like apply. But I feel like with Canelo, he's like physically kind of big, but like height-wise, he's kind of small. So I don't think so, no.
Corey, how you got a decision to stoppage? Because Brandman and Boozy think that Bud actually might stop him.
Me and Boozy talked about that. That's crazy. Me and him got on the phone, talked about it, but I think that's possible. Like, I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but I think it's a possibility if Canelo gets to acting out of line and not understanding that Bud can crack too. So,
actor and martial artist Michael Jai White, famous for playing Mike Tyson in HBO's biopic, is all in on Crawford winning. In an interview, White dismissed the idea that Canelo is the favorite, flatly saying no, and compared this to when Mayweather schooled Canelo. He believes Crawford's quickness and awkward style will be the difference, predicting Bud will outscore Canelo much like Mayweather did, despite the improvements Canelo has made since.
Canelo versus Terence Crawford.
Yes.
Do you feel that Canelo's gonna win?
No.
Really?
No.
So you would put your money on Crawford?
Yes.
You'd make money. Just put that out there.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think Crawford's going to beat him?
Because Crawford can find people to fight like Canelo, who is amazing. Canelo has he evolved. I saw how he evolved defensively and everything. I just don't think he's as fast as Crawford. And I think Crawford is just a little step ahead as far as movement is concerned. And so I think it's going to be Mayweather Canelo Part 2. That's what I think. Crawford ain't gonna knock him out, but I don't know if Canelo's gonna land very solidly on Crawford. Canelo's way better now, but I still think there's an edge. It won't necessarily be exactly like that, but I think he'll edge him out point-wise. All you need is that little bit of an edge, and I think Crawford has that.
Former champ Antonio Tarver also sees a possible Crawford win if Bud can handle the Mexican star's power at 168 pounds. Tarver admires Crawford's elite skills, but questions whether he can take the kind of shots that come with moving up in weight. If he can survive Canelo's punches, Tarver believes Bud's speed, timing, and sharp boxing brain could get him the victory. However,
Terence gotta be Terence, bro. He's a real deep thinker. He processed fights like nobody else. And he's processed this Canelo fight. He's seen it. He went through it 2 or 3 times already. He knows how this ends. You can tell the way he shadow boxes. He visualizing Canelo being right there in front of him. You understand? Look at the movement. That's all you gotta do, look at the movement. And that's the type of master boxer that Canelo is gonna be facing. And the only thing I say is Canelo hasn't faced an opponent like this in a long time. You know what I mean? I think Canelo's gonna have to go back to the Caleb Plant fight and look that good, that active, that, you feel me, moving with that type of grace to beat Terence Crawford. Because weight ain't gonna make the difference. It ain't gonna be the weight. It's gonna be the skill set.
Israel Madrimov, who fell to Crawford in 2024, sees it differently. Speaking bluntly, he said about the fight at super middleweight, it's a completely different weight class. I think Canelo will win by decision. Madrimov believes the size gap at 168 is the deciding factor, even though Crawford has the skill, power, and experience to compete.
If 12 rounds, Crawford win, I think.
Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, what do you think about that fight if they did fight? Looks like it's up for September.
Good fight. You know, if 168 pounds, I think it's Canelo, but it's Canelo better technique because 50-50. If 12 rounds, Crawford win, I think. If knockout, it's Canelo.
What makes Crawford so difficult to fight against?
He has power, smart, in more practical.
He has more experience. He's very experienced.
Former world champ Amir Khan, who has shared the ring with both men, is confident it will be an easy night for Crawford. He points to Bud's mix of top-tier skill, precision, footwork, ring IQ, and slippery defense, saying Crawford is much harder to hit clean than Canelo ever was.
I think that Crawford could beat him because Crawford is a big 147 fighter and is strong as well, which a lot of people don't give him the credit for. I think that fight, if it does happen, as long as Crawford stays away and just boxes and be smart, he can win that fight. I think Crawford's a better fighter than Charlo, and he's a smart fighter as well. He switches and everything, so that would be a very good fight.
Talk about them both. Like, what are the differences between them?
Canelo's strong and he's easily hit. Very easily hit, very easily. Compared to when I fought against Crawford, I couldn't hit clean. They both hit hard because, and you could see the strength when I was fighting against Crawford. He is very strong as well. So, look, yeah, but why does he need to give that much away? He's pound for pound #1 in the world. Why does he have to go for fighting Canelo?
While recognizing Canelo's knockout power, Khan also says Crawford can crack hard himself, and that timing could be the key, since Canelo isn't the same as in 2016. As long as Bud stays clear of Canelo's biggest shots, Khan believes he'll win with little trouble.
With Canelo, is it so substantially bigger than all the other fights?
It was like times 4.
Fucking hell. Yeah.
Times 3, 4, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're
crazy money.
He's such a draw,
so
isn't
when that deal was put to me, and I was like, it was about like 11M.
Wow. I didn't even want to talk to them.
11, 12, call it.
We appreciate that for the second.
Absolutely, yeah.
11, 12 million, yeah. So when you look at that, you think, if I had to look at it this way, if I had to fight, I have to fight Danny Garcia, Kotelnik, Zab Judah, Peterson, and maybe like a Greco, 5
all to make that much dough.
No, I think, and that's not it's not the fight that's hard, it's the training camps.
Yeah.
So when you get an opportunity like that, you're gonna take it because you know that it's only one fight, whereas instead of you taking 5 fights, Canelo knocked me out, fine, knocked me out with one shot. You know what I mean? But you probably take more damage than all them.
Joe Rogan has made it clear he's siding with Crawford in this mega event. He said plainly, "I like Crawford," despite concerns over the size and power difference. Rogan called Bud the best switch hitter in the sport, able to flip between southpaw and orthodox without losing his tactical edge. His only doubt? Whether Crawford's size is enough to handle Canelo's heavy shots.
which I think is really interesting. The Crawford-Canelo fight.
Beyond interesting. Fascinating.
Because how does Crawford compete with that size? Crawford is leapfrogging. He goes to super middleweight.
47 to 54 and now to 68.
And the Madrimov fight in 54 is a difficult fight.
Yeah. So who do you like in Canelo versus Crawford?
Well, I'm a giant Crawford fan because I think he's the best switch hitter since Marvin Hagler. I also think he's one of those guys that if you tell him he can't do something, he wants to show you and shock the world.
1000%.
I also think Canelo is slowing down, and Canelo is more of a one-punch fighter now than the combination fighter he was when he was young.
Respected trainer Teddy Atlas is firmly picking Crawford to get the win. After proving himself against the best at 147 and 154, Atlas says Bud has only gotten better and will rise to the challenge at 168. He praised Crawford's speed, adaptability, and intelligence in the ring, even comparing him to Sugar Ray Leonard. In Atlas's eyes, Crawford is the more special fighter.
Maybe he's a little overrated.
Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds.
Canelo's really good, really good. But I think Crawford is special. I know he hasn't fought the resume everyone wants, but you have that or you don't have that ingredient. I think he has it. Canelo's really good. He's tremendous. But could he be a tiny bit overrated? The greatness is within Crawford. It's in his desire, it's in his mind, it's in his makeup, where he came from. I know he's moving up in weight class, can he carry it? But those intangibles, I believe that he has them.
Oscar de la Hoya has shared both praise and criticism of the matchup. While he admires Crawford's ambition and skills, he doubts Bud can withstand Canelo's constant pressure and power for a full fight, predicting the smaller man may fade after 6 or 7 rounds. He also took shots at the promotion, calling staged dinners and fake shoves nothing but cheap hype, saying fans deserve a real fight, not a scripted build-up.
Because you have Crawford jumping up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo, who's a natural light heavyweight? Crawford, who couldn't push back Madrimov? Life and death with Madrimov. What do you think Canelo's gonna do to him? Run him out of the ring! You know what's laughable also? Dana White being named the promoter of this fight, considering he's never been in the boxing space. Has no stable of boxers. He didn't negotiate. And is being handed this fight on a silver platter and called promoter. He's the trust fund baby of boxing. That's it. The trust fund baby of boxing. And get this, the fight will take place during the day on September 13th in Las Vegas. During the day. So Canelo will fight during the day on Netflix just to accommodate UFC Noche later that evening on a different network. So does that mean this fight isn't important? Do they not give a about the fans or viewership? Why is it that Canelo has to fight during the day on Mexican Independence Weekend? And UFC with a roster of names I've never heard of is going on prime time. Cinco de Mayo. He's fighting in Riyadh and now he's fighting during the day on the biggest weekend in boxing. Yeah, Canelo will fight anywhere. Anytime he's told because he doesn't give a all he cares is about the money. Doesn't give a fans.
IBF welterweight champ Jaron boots. Ennis thinks Crawford is rolling the dice by jumping up 2 divisions to face Canelo. He advised Bud to take a fight at 161st to get used to bigger opponents. You've got to lean more toward Canelo, he said, noting the Mexican star's history of knocking out bigger men. Meanwhile, Canelo's own preparation has been intense. Fans were stunned by his ripped physique in his final workout, where his schedule included morning runs, explosive strength drills, core training, and sparring with Olympic fighter Errol Spence, impressing even his own team with his focus.
But I think you gotta lean more towards Canelo, because like I said before, he been pitting big guys out and down, and Canelo not even really a 68 pounder. He probably really should be at 60 maybe, and he been hurting these guys. I think he be dropping these guys and things like that. So, and them guys be way bigger than him come fight night. I know that for sure. They be probably close to 200 pounds, and he dropping those guys like that. So, I don't know. It's gonna be a great fight. The fans want to see it, so so be it. I think Crawford should take a warm-up fight. At like 60 or like at least at 60, just to get his body, to fill into somebody a little bit bigger, and things like that. I know when you go up a weight, you gotta develop that power and not develop the power, but like put that muscle on and be heavier and things like that. So he might not want to take a fight because he's trying to build up right now. But I think he should, just to stay sharp and that way he don't have like a long layoff or anything like that.
Fans are split on the matchup. Many blasted Canelo's last fight against William Skull as garbage and painfully dull, raising doubts about this bout. Some worry that moving up to 168 could slow Crawford or drain his power. Social media is full of memes mocking the hype and claims the press conference shove was staged. Still, plenty remain hooked, with opinion divided between those betting on Crawford's speed and those trusting Canelo's strength.
Canelo is so predictable, dude. A hook is coming. When the right hand is coming. He's going down to the body. He gives it away. There's a tail with him. There really is. And it's usually off the high guard. He comes in, he marches forward, then boom. Crawford's going to be able to see all of that. He's too knowledgeable inside the ring. His IQ is too high. If he can avoid the shots, avoid the big bum, and not get knocked out, he can outbox Canelo. It doesn't matter. He don't have to knock him out. He can outbox him, outpoint him. So that's my opinion, bro. That's what I think about.